What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Today, I want to go into talking about why 203k and FHA loans basically put you way ahead of the pack in terms of return on investment, cash on cash return, a couple things that I'll talk a little bit more about. So, real quick, one of the biggest reasons that I jumped into this is when I first learned about this 203k thing from Melissa, who is the president of our local real estate investment association. When she told me that on these FHA loans that you only need to put 3.5% down, it really changed my whole vision on this whole thing. Typically you would find out that, listen, if you want to buy a rental property or buy a flip, you have to put 20% down at least, and that's if you're using a mortgage. If you're using hard money or you're using private lending or something like that, you could look at upwards of 30% or more. So 3.5% down payment, even for someone just buying a house, I realized was really low. And as I got older and more involved in the industry, I realized that FHA loans are actually typically how a lot of people get into houses these days, especially like where I live on Long Island, New York, or where I grew up. You have to, houses typically go for like $500,000 now. And that means you'd have to put $100,000 to, to buy a house. I don't know anyone my age with $100,000 laying around. And if they do, I don't know if they're going to be living out there. So, it was really eye-opening to see that you can put only 3.5% down on these properties. So I took that and basically used that number in my calculations for fix and flips and for buying a rental property. If you're a member of Bigger Pockets, you know that they have a lot of different calculators for you to rent or to see the deal numbers on a rental property, right? So what you want to do is you typically want to find a cash flow per month. You want it to be an 11 cap or a 12 cap. These are all kind of big words that they use. But basically, what I wanted to look at was my cash on cash return, right? My return on investment. How much I was putting down versus how much I was getting back. So let's use an example, okay? I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. But let's assume a regular investor goes to get a rental property, okay? They have to put $20,000 down on a $100,000 property, okay? Let's use a $100,000 property as an example. So on a $100,000 property, you require a 20% down payment if you're buying it through a regular, a bank, right? They're going to ask you for that, especially for a rental property. Rental properties, you need to put down the full payment, unless it's an FHA and you're house hacking and you're buying multiple units, okay? So you put 20% down, that's $20,000, okay? You put someone in there, and ideally, you get someone in and they're paying the mortgage. Let's say it's $1,000 a month, and the rent, the mortgage is $1,000 a month, and they're paying you $2,000 a month in rent. Now, that means it's going to take about 2 years to pay it off. These are really rough numbers. These are not true numbers, so don't really get caught up on the numbers. I'm just trying to show the example. So what you're having is you're getting $1,000 of profit a month. So it's taking you about 2 years to pay off your initial investment, okay? Now, flip that around. If you do a 203k, you're only putting 3.5% down, okay? So if you do the same scenario, you have $1,000 a month mortgage payment, or actually maybe a little more because you're putting down a lot less. What you're able to do is you're able to pay this, you're able to pay back, get your money back very quickly. And that's really important in real estate investing because you want to have a lot of liquid capital. As soon as you pay off the debt that you put in, that's your cash on cash return. That's what you're getting back. Cash on cash return means what's the return on your investment based on how much cash you put in versus how much you get out. So in this case, you're putting $3,500 down, okay? And after 2 or 3 months, you're getting your money back. Then you get residual every month. If they're renting the property, you're getting a cash flowing property. Everything on top of that is profit, okay? Profit, that is money in your pocket. That's money that goes to you. Now, here's where a 203k beats the hell out of both of these scenarios. Beats the hell out of an FHA, beats the hell out of a hard money loan, okay? Or a B quadruple R. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Maybe we'll call it a BRRRR. It's the buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. You see it a lot on Bigger Pockets. You see a lot on a lot of investing forums that this is the way to go. The 203k allows you to do a BRRRR on steroids, and here's why, okay? You still only have to put 3.5% down on your property, okay? But in addition to that, you're getting your rehab costs built into your loan. Now, remember, you're only putting down 3.5% up front. If you get a tenant in your property, if you get a property like I did with someone with multiple units where you can live in one and in the other units rent it out, what you're doing is you want to put down as little money as possible, because at the end of the day, you're not paying off your mortgage. So it doesn't matter if you pay it off faster. It doesn't matter that you take a bigger chunk up front. You want someone else to build your equity. Why are you going to put all your hard-earned money up front if you could have someone else put their money in and pay off your mortgage? You want to go in with as little money as possible, okay? So with that, you're putting 3.5% down. That's it, okay? You have a couple closing costs here and there, but that comes later. It's a couple percentage points here or there, right? But ultimately, you're still under 5% when all's said and done, okay? After you finish your rehab, you build equity into the property. In my case, I put $9,500 down. Let's call it $10,000 down, okay? Put $10,000 down on my property. That's all the money that came out of my pocket, okay? After the rehab, which I didn't pay for. Well, I paid for it. It's in my mortgage, but someone else is going to pay for that rehab that I did to my property over time. After I did my rehab and I got the property reappraised, it reappraised for $130,000 over what I paid for it. That includes that buying the house, and that includes the rehab on the house. I bought the house for $270,000. I put about $80,000 into it, $70,000 into it. Puts me at about, I'm all into it. My loan is $350,000. That's how much I took out on the property, okay? So basically, if I sold the house tomorrow, I made I don't know if it's either a 1,300% or 13,000% profit, okay? That's literally unheard of. You can't make that kind of money anywhere. And honestly, you can only do this once, right? So it's you got to understand, listen, this isn't something that you can do over and over again. It's a jump start. It's the first deal, which is the most important deal in your entire career. It's what's going to slingshot you into a true real estate investing career. Once you get this done, you have so much power in your back pocket. In my case, I have $130,000 of equity in this house that I could loan out against anytime I see a new deal come through my pipeline, which happens more often now that I'm a serious investor and people take me more seriously. When I see a deal that looks good, I can take out a home equity line of credit off of that and put it down on a down payment. Again, I'm taking credit off as something that people are paying for, right? I mean, I'm not paying for that. I'm just getting a little extra cash in my pocket every month that I could do whatever I want with. But there's also that liquid money, that money I could pull out of it at any time to get myself into new properties. And that's when you start to leverage yourself, get into more BRRRR properties where I could buy them, rent them out, refinance them to pull the money back out, rinse and repeat. I really just want to drive this home. It's kind of hard to explain, and I really understand if you're a little confused on it, but really just think about it in the terms of return on investment, right? You put 3.5% down. If you do a rehab on the property, again, let's go back to our example, $100,000 property. You do a rehab into it. You put maybe $25,000 into it. The appraiser comes back. They say, okay, wow, you really made this property look nice with this 203k loan. You're going to appraise for about $200,000. Congratulations. Now, you could refinance out of your 203k after that. That's something for another video we'll talk about. But basically, you can get out of the confines of the 203k loan. You don't have to pay mortgage insurance payments every month, but there's a couple $100s a month. So you make an extra $200, $300 in your month, in your pocket every month. And you have this new line of credit, this new equity that you can now leverage into your next property. You can go to hard money lenders. You could be like, listen, I just did a flip. I'm a real deal. I just did a flip. Here's my flip. Here's a deal that I did. Check out the rehab. They're going to not even question you. They're going to give you money, no problem. There's a lot of hard money lenders out there. Get your first deal using the government, okay? They have this available for us to use, okay? If you're not using an FHA loan, you are literally leaving thousands and thousands of dollars on the table, okay? So make sure your next deal is using an FHA loan, preferably a 203k, where you can kill two birds with one stone, doing a flip and getting a rental out of it at the same damn time. All right, guys. Hope this was valuable to everybody, and please leave some questions, comments that you have below, and we'll talk soon. Also, if you saw that that post I made about I'm creating a new logo, if you like any of the logos, please pick one. I think number 4 is in the lead. So yeah, let me know which one you like best, and that'll be our new logo. And please ask me some questions. Peace.